Oh, hey guys, how's it going today? It's freaking Saturday, and I could go ice fishing. I just don't want to. I honestly don't want to. I really don't want to. I miss fishing, but I said it before. I'm not a fan of ice fishing. I just snowblowed my driveway. It's only -6 out, which...
-6 degrees Celsius is equal to 21.2 degrees Fahrenheit.
So there you go. There you go. That's what it is in Fahrenheit. Why are you not looking at me, camera? So yeah, I have no will or want to go ice fishing and freeze my balls off. That just does not sound too bueno to me. Also, I'm not wearing my microphone for this camera. I literally just grabbed the camera and started filming because something freaking crazy happened last night, guys. You're probably saying, what happened? What was crazy? So I end up collabing with a co-martial artist of mine from our Modern Arnis classes. He plays on Twitch and he streams there and he plays Fortnite, or he does. His name is Liam Animates. His main thing is he likes to draw and do art and animations and all that fun stuff. Anyhoozle, we're starting the stream off. Finally get through all the technical difficulties of streaming and get things finally going somewhat good. And I'm like, all right, well, we're set up, we're good to go. I'm going to go rock a piss. As I'm rocking my piss, or not as I'm rocking my piss, as I take my headphones off, because I had my great big Razer Kraken, can't hear anything except for the game headphones on. Literally, they muffle out all sound in the room. It'd be the worst thing to do, to wear a set of those and play a game with a jump scare like Phasmagoria or something, and somebody come up behind you and touch you on the shoulder because you wouldn't know they were in the room with you until they touch your shoulder, and then you freak out and you punch them in the face. Anyway, I take my headphones off. I start walking away from the computer and I hear somebody yell, "Hello."
Hello?
And I thought it was Liam on the stream, so I just ignored it. Come downstairs, rock a piss, and all of a sudden I see in the window down here a flash of light. And I'm like, holy crap, is there a car like in my yard? So I walk over to the window to have a look, and it was a cop in my yard with a flashlight. I'm like, what the hell? And if you don't believe me, it's fine, because now you're going to believe me, because I have evidential videographies from the cameras surrounding the property. So this cop was there. He was on my property for like 15 minutes trying to get my attention, and the whole time I'm sitting there with the headphones on playing video games. I had no idea they were there. He couldn't breach the house because I had it locked, and he had no rights to breach the house. All he wanted to know was if I had any, if my camera on the garage caught the road, because apparently there was a disturbance with a backyard break-in down the way. Now the thing is a lot of these backyard bandits, we call them, usually if they see a camera system attached to a residence, they'll be a little bit more hesitant to actually encroach on the property, knowing that they're going to get busted. But mind you, our judicial system is so overflowed with criminals that they get busted, they get processed, and they're put back on the street with a slap on the wrist, because our jails are full. We got nowhere to put criminals anymore. It's so bad. It's so bad. Which is the reason why cops are like kind of losing their fight on crime, because they do their job, but the judicial system can't do theirs. So these people are just turned back to the streets to go cause more crime. It's friggin' horseshit. Anyway, I talked to the guy and he's like, "Hey, Dad, just wondering if your camera catches the road." And I said, "I can see the road, but it basically, I don't have it motion capping the road because it was filling up my hard drive with clips of cars driving by. So I literally, somebody would have to step foot on my driveway in order for the camera to start motion capturing. All the data is stored, like it stores a 36-hour loop. So I asked him, I said, "Do you know roughly what time this person was in the area?" And he couldn't give me a time. So I'm like, all right. Problem is I went back and scrubbed all yesterday in the afternoon, and there had to be at least 30, 40 people walking up and down the street. So I don't know which one to pick out. It's wintertime. Everybody's bundled up. Even the homeless people, or I don't even know if it was a homeless person, because he didn't even tell me that. He just told me that there was a disturbance. Somebody was in somebody's backyard and broke into their shed, and apparently they walked up the street. And I'm like, so obviously Buddy wasn't home, so they couldn't give me a time as to when the break-in occurred. So yeah, it's just one of those things, you know? No, I told him, I said, I got nothing. Like, I grabbed my phone, I scrubbed through, and I looked, and I'm like, all I can see is people walking up and down the street. He's like, "Can you send me that video?" I said, "Well, give me your business card, and I'll upload it to a shared area and you can just download it. I'm like, it's going to be freaking massive. So hopefully your North Bay Police Department's got good interwebs because you're going to need it. So I uploaded it to a cloud share there. I did that this morning, sent them the link, and you can have the entire day's worth of people walking in front of my house. That basically anything caught on live feed, not motion capture. Because the live feed stuff is stored on the SD card integrated into the camera, because these Wyze cameras, you can put SD cards in them, and the motion trigger is stored in the cloud through the Wyze cloud. And motion capture only captures motion, doesn't capture a full day's worth of logs. So I have the continuous recording for the SD cards and the non-continuous for the cloud, in case I need to go and scrub through and find stuff that didn't get motion picked. Like the chipmunk that is living in my shed that decided to leave my shed, scurry around and realize it's snow and then go back into my garage. He went out around and then back in. It was funny as hell. So he was like, nope, winter sucks. I'm going back to bed. Smart on you, bud. Smart on you. But yeah, so the cop was here. So sure enough, I get back to my desk and I'm like getting ready to play video games. I'm like, sorry about that, guys. The cops were at my door. And somebody right away, oh, what? You thought you were getting swatted? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know what it is with cops, but they always show up at my house when I'm streaming. A while back in when was that? 2016, I think it was. Yeah, 2016, because I was working at that shitty call center for that telephone company. Coming home, about to start a live stream with the boys, play some Grand Theft Auto or whatever games we were playing back then, and about to get into it, and I got a bang on the door, and cops like, this is during the summertime too, and the Firebird was in the driveway. He's like, this white Camaro here, is this yours? I'm like, no, but that white Firebird is. Like, I'm being a smartass now. I'm like, why? How dare you call Firebird Trans Am a Camaro, brah? What's the matter with you, brah? And I'm like, no, but that Firebird is. And he's like, well, this car was seen at the Northgate Mall doing burnouts in the parking lot. And I said, that's pretty good. I haven't driven that car in forever. I'm too fat to fit. Because I was too fat to fit in it. And he's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, I literally haven't driven it in like 2 years. So if this car was seen there, somebody has a copy of my keys and I would like to file a report because somebody GTA'd my car and then was nice enough to return it. And he's like, wait, you this isn't the car that was... I'm like, dude, I don't drive it. I drive the G6. At the time I had the Pontiac G6 and the Pontiac Firebird. Now I have the Ford F-150 and the Pontiac Firebird. So I'm like, bro, it wasn't me. Yes, this is my car, but I haven't driven it in like 2 years. I drive my other one. And he's like, oh, well, do you know of anybody else in town with a white Camaro? I'm thinking to myself, isn't that your job? Don't you have access to the DVOR system? Find out who's driving what. You can look up make and model and then match it to plates. Like, come on, bud. Pull up, bud. I didn't say that. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, there's a bunch of F-bodies driving around. I said, first off, you said it was a Camaro and you're obviously not sure what you're looking at here. I'm like, this is a Trans Am. I said, yes, the rear ends sort of kind of look the same. I said, but the front ends don't. I'm like, if it was a white Camaro, was it a T-top? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, so if it's not a T-top, or if you don't know, then, you got to look at the hard tops. And we were just discussing stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I don't drive it. I'm like, I can't physically get into it right now because belly sticks out too far. I sit in car and belly compresses, and I get cramps everywhere, and too fat to drive Pontiac. But no, there was that stream. There was another stream where, what was it? I was what was I doing? I was coming home from work. Was I coming home from work? I think I was coming home from when I worked at the vape shop. I come home, I get home, I'm in here setting up for another Grand Theft Auto stream because, we played a lot of GTA back in the day. And the cops show up at my door. And they were there to give me a warning about using my cell phone while driving. Now, one thing, guys, unless I'm using my cell phone as a GPS system to, go on a long drive somewhere where I don't know where I'm going, my cell phone is always in my pocket. Now, the way I sit in my car, a lot of people sit and they got the seat bent back and they're doing one of these and driving like they're a friggin' hood rat. I drive my cars the way you would race them on a track. My seat is perfectly upright. My back is... So when I grab the wheels, I have a perfect... you almost have an L pattern in your elbows. I'm not like right into it, but I'm close enough where if the airbag goes off, it won't beat the shit out of me. And if I did get into an accident, I won't beat the shit out of the airbag. It's the proper like track course driving seating position. And because I sit like that, there's no way in hell I could ever reach into my pocket and pull my cell phone out because the angle is not there. So unless I have it mounted physically to my dash through the magnetic system, plugged into USB to keep it charged, and I am using it as a GPS system to get from location A to location B, there is absolutely no way I could be on my cell phone. And the time didn't make sense either. Like he shows up, I was working. Those days I used to work from 3 till 9, so 6 hours. Was it 3 to 9 or noon to 9? I can't remember now. It's been a while. I think it was 2 to 9. Yeah, it was 2 to 9, 7 hours. So I'd work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays off. And yeah, it was during one of my shifts. Like they stated that somebody reported my car, me driving while operating a cell phone. And I'm like, well, it couldn't have been me. I'm like, I was working at that time. And he's like, where were you working? I said, Vapor Trends down on Lakeshore. Like, what? It couldn't have been me. I was at work. Like, he said you caught me at like 4:30, and that's during my shift hours. I was sitting behind a counter selling people e-darts. Like, it wasn't me. And then he's like, well, I'm just giving you a warning about operating a cell phone while driving. He goes, I'm going to let the ticket go this time. I said, you can't even give me a ticket. You don't have any evidence. And I said, and I have an alibi. He's like, oh yeah, who's your alibi? I said, my boss. So I call him up. I'm like, stand on the line. I call up my boss. I'm like, hey, I'm at home, but I got a cop here saying that while I was working for you, I was actually out driving around and texting on my cell phone. He's like, no, you weren't. You're in my store. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, can you just set this guy straight? And the cop's like, no, he doesn't need to. I believe you. And I'm like, okay, so like before you show up and start reaming people up for stuff they didn't do, make sure you have hardcore evidence. Like, holy crap. And that's the thing. Like, I know the cop last night was, he was like, do you mind if I come in while you scrub through the footage? And I'm like, actually, I do mind. I'm like, I'm about to jump into a live stream right now and hang out with my buddies. I know you have a job to do, but it's not my job to facilitate your job. And he's like, well, we kind of need your footage on your cameras. I'm like, yeah, you say that again. He's like, well, we need the footage on your cameras. I said, yeah, they're my cameras. I said, and I have them facilitated according to law to only record stuff on the property that I'm paying taxes for. So if Buddy was on the street, forget it. It probably didn't pick him up. I said, but I can scrub through the live footage and send you what I have. That's the best I can do. Unless you have a warrant, you can't come into my property and you have no access to my cameras. I'm like, honestly, without a warrant, if a cop asks you, can I get footage off your camera? And you say no, they have to take it like that. If they want that footage bad enough, they have to go in front of a court and get a warrant to acquire the footage from you, and it has to have proper causes. So, no, yeah, you don't have rights to my footage. You don't. I'm nice enough to say, I'm busy right now, but I will hook you up with that footage. You just need to chill. But yeah, I ended up sending it to him anyway. But it's like, bro, I'm busy. You're like getting involved in my personal time here, bud. But yeah, Johnny Law showed up last night, and I'm like, freak sakes. There was also the time the cop showed up here after dating an individual, which is the reason why I'm done. I'm done with dating. After that last one, where she nonstop threatened to call the cops on me for things, and then I go to a sushi place, and she calls the cops saying I'm stalking her, and they show up at my house. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Women are nuts, man. Dating in 2024 was horrible. 2025 ain't gonna get any better. I'm done. I can't be bothered. Too stressful. Rather just focus on me, do whatever the hell I want, and enjoy my life. Because honestly, if I were to get into another relationship, do you think she'd let me go down to Blokes for a weekend and do some freaking fishing? Do you think she'd let me do anything? No, it'd be all about her, because that's the way people are nowadays. It's all about me, me, me. I want a boyfriend, but he has to have this, and he has to have that, and he's got to be 6'2", and he's got to be this and that and this and that. And then it's like, okay, so what do you bring to the table? I'm cute. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not even worthy. It's like I see that all the time with these with the women. So yeah, I'm basically, I've lost interest in dating. That's not even worth the time and effort. I'm too old school for this new school mentality, and I could never be one of those guys online that get called a simp, because that doesn't work for me either. But anyway, so yeah, and sure enough, guys, if you look up camera laws on at least in Canada, I don't know how it is in the US, but you can surrender the footage to the officer. That's fine. However, you got to be careful, just like your driving dash cams and all that shit. If you're in a car accident and you have it on dash cam that it was clearly the other person's fault and you hand them the dash cam footage, they could scrub through all that footage. And let's say a couple days earlier, you were like doing burnouts or driving recklessly or, you know, whatever the case may be, you just incriminated yourself on a whole different case. And this has happened in courts where they have seen people driving recklessly. Meanwhile, that's not even what the court case was about. It was literally about something completely different. Something like got into a collision, or they weren't even in the collision. They were at a light and somebody blew a red and got T-boned, but they had the footage, so they surrendered the footage to help the individual who got T-boned to get, or the individual who T-boned them because buddy ran a red and the guys had the right of way and he just drove through and complete calamity and destroyed them. Submitted the driving cam information, like the SD card, and they scrubbed through it and they got what they needed, but then they just kept scrubbing, and then they found out buddy was also aggressively driving and doing like 80 and a 40 and like just driving like a maniac and doing burnouts and stuff, and they basically incriminated him on reckless driving, street racing charges. So you got to watch when you give this information over. Luckily, my cameras just pick up people that walk on my property, the mail guy, the Amazon delivery Dragonfly guy. You know, when they walk on the property, I get an alert on my phone that there's somebody here, and then so on and so forth. But like I said, I do scrub the live feed. It stores up to, I believe, 36 hours on the 32 gig card because they're caught in 4K. So, but yeah, keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have any ideas or any other things to add to the whole camera debacle and cops just randomly showing up at your houses and stuff, you want some story time, add some story time. Let's go. Let's get some comments up in this bitch. Thanks for watching. Like, favorite, comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, guys, live it to win it and push the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.